Spider-Man and Superman do not meet on a rooftop or in the sky. They meet buried alive, hurt, confused, and almost already losing ground. Today we're breaking down the all-new, all-spectacular Spider-Man and Superman. Let's get into it. The scene opens with Spider-Man and Superman dazed, pinned beneath a massive pile of stone and debris. What on earth was that? Clark answers fast, Luthor. Lex Luthor. Peter immediately fires back that Lex Luthor sounds like a ridiculous name, which gives Clark the perfect opening. Otto Octavius? And Peter can only stop and admit, alright, good point. As they recover, Peter asks what exactly hit them. Clark figures it's probably some magic or kryptonite, maybe both. Peter, unfamiliar with kryptonite, asks if this is basically Superman's version of adamantium. Clark asks if adamantium can kill him, and Peter answers, in the right hands. A clear Wolverine nod. Clark uses his X-ray vision and notices something odd in Peter's belt, a wristwatch. Peter immediately covers himself and tells him not to X-ray him like that, and then throws another joke about what kind of lunatic would keep kryptonite in his utility belt. At the same time, both heroes are already running into limits. Clark cannot see through the walls around him. Peter cannot stick to them, and when Peter jokes that Superman is surprisingly good at pep talks, Clark gives him a soft laugh. Peter keeps poking at him, saying he's too easy of an audience. Then the trap fully springs. Pumpkin bombs start flooding the chamber. They burst with green radiation. Kryptonite. Peter tries webbing them up, trying to contain the blast, but the radiation bleeds right through the webs. Clark weakens fast, and the ceiling starts compacting downward, and both of them realize they're about to be crushed. Even here, the issue still lets them joke under pressure. Clark cracks a dry Star Wars line, Peter now physically holding the ceiling up while Clark starts turning green from the radiation, tries to keep the bit going, calling himself the immovable object to their unstoppable force, then immediately breaks character and yells that it is so freaking heavy. This is Peter's kryptonite. This is where the issue gets deeper than a normal crossover fight. Peter realizes he knows exactly what happens if everything goes quiet. If the room gets too still, his own thoughts are going to beat him before the rubble does, so he tells Superman to keep talking. Clark responds exactly the right way. He doesn't give Peter a speech, he gives him a question. Why do you do this? Why keep fighting? Why keep protecting people? Why keep staying when leaving would be easier? And that question hits Peter harder than the collapsing ceiling. Peter admits the answer is guilt. Bad things happen, that's just life. But the bad things he could stop and doesn't, that is what stays with him. That is where Uncle Ben starts bleeding into the moment. Peter is weakening, apologizing he can't keep up much longer, and just when it feels like he's about to collapse under all of it, Clark starts forcing himself back into the fight, even fighting through the kryptonite poisoning, helping to hold the weight with him. And in that moment, Clark understands the wristwatch. Peter starts realizing his spider sense hasn't been firing the way it should be. But why? Because the Venom symbiote has been hiding in the shadows the entire time. That is the real reason the danger never felt clean to him. And before either hero can fully react, the radiation in the chamber spikes higher and higher until both of them are overwhelmed. Peter and Clark are knocked down, and that's when Venom makes its move, and Superman becomes the host. That is the nightmare scenario the whole issue has been building towards. Not only Venom on Superman, but Venom on Superman while kryptonite is actively weakening him enough to let the symbiote take him fully. The result is brutal. Venom Superman tears them out of the trap and launches the fight outside. Every villain for both worlds gets to watch Peter's situation get exponentially worse. Spider-Man is now trying to survive a Superman-level threat amplified by Venom, with his spidey sense basically screaming at 50 times its normal intensity. He's barely slipping past the hits, and that's when Peter figures it out. The kryptonite pumpkin bomb is still attached to Superman through the symbiote, so Peter does the only thing he can do, webs the bomb and slings it across the city. The kryptonite levels immediately crash. Clark's will starts breaking through. Then, Superman claps his hands together with enough force to send Venom into complete agony, ripping the symbiote off with one violent burst. And just like that, the whole thing flips. Luthor and the Green Goblin look around and realize their villain allies have already run, which leaves them staring up to Spider-Man and Superman, both finally ready to strike back. 3 weeks later, Peter is out of his costume, standing at Uncle Ben's grave. Clark approaches carefully, worried he might set off Peter's senses, and this is where the crossover stops being a spectacle and becomes something warmer. Clark explains when Venom linked with him, he learned things he otherwise would never have known. He knows what day it is. He knows it's the anniversary of Uncle Ben. He offers Peter a signal watch, and Peter jokes that Clark's jokes are finally getting better. Clark didn't come only to give him that. He came to say something Peter needed to hear. It's not only the guilt that keeps him going. It is also that great people, kind people, taught him what the right thing to do looks like. That lands. Peter thanks Mr. Kent for that. Clark tells him to call him Clark. And as they walk away, Clark notices the watch in Peter's belt was Uncle Ben's. Peter answers by pointing out Clark's own quiet tell, the 2 sets of glasses. One pair for Mr. Kent, one tied to his father. Clark confirms it. He likes having him near. Peter immediately understands. Then Clark says something else that gives the whole issue its final shape. Anniversaries, and how they always stir up old memories. Not only their own, but the ones that came long before them. That is where the tribute layer comes through. He invites Peter and Aunt May to dinner with the Kents. Peter jokes, what if they do not like each other? Clark deadpans that maybe they can rile them up and force them to fight. And from there, the issue gives something genuinely sweet. Peter and Aunt May join Clark, Jonathan, and Martha Kent for dinner. Apple cobbler is served. May and Martha arm wrestle. Everyone is in laughter, and the issue ends not on a punch, but on warmth. So, Panelheads, what hits harder for you in this crossover? Peter and Clark trapped under the rubble? Venom taking Superman? Or the final dinner with the Kents and Aunt May? Drop your comments down below. What I loved about this issue is that it jumps straight into the danger and never feels rushed. Both characters feel exactly like themselves. No one gets watered down. No one gets pushed over the other. By the end, the final dinner feels like the real point. 2 worlds meeting on equal ground, and a reminder that these characters have meant more to people than their creators probably have ever imagined when they first put them on the page. Other than that, Panelheads, we will see you again when we cover another one of our favorite comic book stories from over the years.